Pagan harvest festivals, you may have heard of them. One just recently passed called Lunessa, or Lammas if you're wrong. Now, the one that is coming up today when this video is gracing your For You page is one called Mabon. Now, Mabon is sort of an autumn harvest festival, and what you would normally do is you would go out and check all your harvests, check your cows. If you were into the witchy type things, you would draw a little circle, say a couple fancy words, and then Bob's your uncle, you're done. But what if I told you you were doing it wrong all these years? Stick around, and I'll go into how to do it right. Welcome back, wayward children, to my humble hovel. Let's get you back in touch with your roots, shall we? For anyone who is new here, I am Castle. This is the Black Dragon Tavern. I am also known as the Real Slim Yeezus. I make videos about industry things as well as storytelling, lore, and pagan culture, so Western European, Scandinavian culture, which is where my family comes from. And today we are talking about the pagan festival of Mabon. Now, this is sort of the autumn solstice festival, so it happens on a different time every year because the earth does a little wibbly wobbly thing. So sometimes it is on the 21st, sometimes it's on the 22nd, sometimes it's on the 23rd, and it lasts for a week. It is a week-long harvest festival, though there's not a whole lot of harvesting that goes on during Mabon. Typically, what you would be doing is checking your crops to make sure that they were all healthy. You would be giving them a nice go round. You would be checking the weight of your animals to ensure that they had gotten fat enough for the winter. And there would be a couple of meals and exchanging of wines and liquors and meads to sort of celebrate that prosperity. So this was really only a time of celebration amongst general pagan cultures when it was a time of prosperity. However, in my family, it's a little bit different, and that's what I'm going to talk about. I will leave a link below to a couple of blogs that have like the general gist of what like modern pagans do in this time. As you guys know, I'm not big into like witchy things or Wicca or Asatru because I don't really subscribe to the whole religion, especially the modern religion aspect of these things, but for those of you who are looking for that kind of information, I'll leave links down in the kilt section below for you. In the meantime, let me go over what we do during Mabon. So starting today, we would have probably a family dinner, and there are specific foods that we eat, and I will go into that. You will see in everything that you find online very likely things about harvesting apples, and that's because in Eastern Ireland and in certain parts of mainland Europe, yes, apples would have become ripe right around this time, so picking them and making foods from them was definitely a common practice. And then later neo-pagans and the Wiccans and the Asatru and all of those fine folks decided to adopt the apple as the symbol of Mabon, or the second harvest festival. However, there are a bunch of foods. You know, we do things with lamb, though we don't always use lamb. It is just sheep meat. I know I say lamb in videos when I refer to lamb, but it's not always that. There are some potato dishes that can be done, as well as breads that are cooked. So I am going to actually do recipes. I don't have a place to cook any of these recipes, but I will be providing recipes in a video later this week. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe and click the little bell so that you get notifications so that you will in fact be able to see the video where I talk about the recipes that you will be cooking during this time. Now, what my family does during Mabon is this is a time to prepare for winter, and that is what this is intended to be. In the old days, in ancient Celt, Gael, even Scandinavian culture, around this time is when you would be preparing for the long winter. So this is a preparation time for us for late fall and the winter. So what many of you may know as Samhain and Yule. And what we actually do in this week is we have 1, 2, 3 family meals so that everybody can talk about how their year went. And then, based on that, we have a discussion of what everyone wants for Christmas, if you will. But it's not Christmas. Obviously, we celebrate a variation of Yule, a very uncommon variation, which I'll be doing more videos on later this year. As a matter of fact, slam the like button, and I don't normally do this in videos, but slam the like button as hard as you can, or caress it gently into arousal, if you would really, really, really like me to do videos on the Wild Hunt this year. I got some interest in it last year, but if there's enough interest, I will definitely do videos on the Wild Hunt this year. What I mean by preparing for Yule is we would talk about what prosperity and what misfortune had been had in the year, and by doing that we determine what is needed or wanted for Christmas. Because how we celebrate Yule, I'm not going to go too deep into it because obviously I'm going to do a Yule video, and we're talking about Mabon, so it'd be a little bit weird if I went deep into Yule while talking about a completely different festival. But we do gifts based on what is needed, based on how well the year went. And during Mabon is when we discuss what will be needed for Yule, what will be needed for the long winter, if you will. So it is a time where the family discusses what it is everyone can provide for everyone else during Yule that is needed, because Yule gifts are not gifts of want, but rather gifts of necessity. Do you need food? Does somebody need money for tuition? Is there something that you need for work? Is there something that you need for school? It would be bought and gifted during Yule. Plenty is gifted to those during the time of Yule, and for us, we discuss it during Mabon. And I almost forgot about this because we don't treat it like a festival like we do the other festivals. We treat it more like it's just sort of a tradition around the time, no different than like a white elephant gift exchange is the closest thing I can think of to what it might be. But you take this time to sit down with your family, talk about how everyone's year has went. And keep in mind, family doesn't just mean people who are blood related to you. You can sit down with your friends and be like, hey guys, how's your year going? And obviously for 2020, this is going to be a big thing. Sit down with your friends, talk about what has gone on, and ask them what they need, and let them know what you can provide. And that will be your Yule gift or your Christmas gift to your friends and family. And I think that's a much more meaningful and beautiful tradition than just say, oh, here's a fucking $80 Starbucks gift card, be high on caffeine for the first 30 seconds of next year. Of the 3 meals, the first one is usually most significant, and this would normally be held on the first day, but you can do it whenever, which is why I don't feel bad putting this out a little bit late. So Mabon will be going on until next Tuesday, and I will put out another video on recipes and small traditions you can do with your friends and family. For those of you who have heritage in the Scandinavia area or anywhere in Europe, I will have a video for you. And this is primarily addressing my American fans, but if you do live anywhere in Scandinavia or Europe and you feel like you are out of touch with your roots, you're more than welcome to adapt the traditions of my family, my clan, and use them as your own. This is not exclusive to anyone. If you are in Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Peru. I just found out that we have fans in Brazil and Peru, which is like crazy to me because I wish I spoke more languages so that I could break down barriers and share my culture with more people. But for now, I guess we just have to communicate in this language, which luckily it's a pretty common one. So I feel like I reach a good number of people. But if anybody is interested in doing my videos in other languages, let me know. But in the meantime, I will have another video coming out later this week on recipes and small traditions you can do with your family, and a little bit more of a descriptor on how the whole preparing for gifts things go. So don't worry if you don't have anything grandiose to do for this time. Most pagans in the old days didn't really do a grand celebration, and it's really only the witchy types who take these, what they call sabbats, super seriously. So if that is you, then, you know, happy Mabon, and I do hope you enjoy your celebrations. This is another thing, and it's completely off topic. If you are wanting to get back to a Celtic Gaelic terminology, I don't use the word sabbats, because that's another thing that Wicca, I can never remember their names. It's another one of those things that Gardner and Crowley kind of jacked from Jewish mysticism. Sabbat is short for Sabbaths, and they are very much not the same thing. So you're welcome to use them. I don't have any problem with people using them, because obviously it's a part of the culture, but it is not Celtic, Gaelic terminology. It's not Viking, Scandinavian terminology. So it is a little bit different. If you have enjoyed but you are not a part of the clan already, I bid thee do so now by engaging the subscribe button in Mortal Kombat, and you will know you have won when all the blood drains from its body and it becomes a deathly grey. And you may ring the victory bell immediately to its right to let all know of your victory over the subscribe button. And as a bonus, you'll also always know when I upload a video. You can check the kilt section down below for all of my podcasts, purchasables, and platform links, as well as any relevant links to the videos that I am speaking of. Out of all of the subjects that I am speaking of. Until next time, heroes, adventurers, warriors, stay bloodthirsty, my friends, and remember, all hail.